I have always believed that public service is probably the most noble of causes and most noble of professions one can go into. And I've always thought about doing it myself. The problem is that I don't have a lot of money. Especially in terms of the Supreme Court rulings, do you think that it's going to make it more difficult for people to get into public service in the next 2-3 cycles or so?
Well, it is going to tell you it's easier if you have the money yourself. For other people, it means that you can still get into it, but you're going to have to spend more time than is healthy for our democracy trying to persuade other people to give you the money. And I just want to be very clear about the deep philosophical objection many of us have to this Supreme Court tendency of the conservatives on the court to take, they've effectively taken all limits off money. We have two systems in this country. We have a capitalist system which creates wealth, and in that system, the way it works, the more money you have, the more impact you have. That's the way it's supposed to work. The more money you have, then the more you affect the economic system. We have a parallel political system, which makes the decisions for the society, in which the rule is everybody is equal. And what the United States Supreme Court has done is to tear down any barrier between those two systems, so that the inequality principle that legitimately dominates in the free market system now washes out the equality principle. And money is now equally influential, not equally, but it's getting to be as influential in the public sector, in the decision making, which is supposed to be one person, one vote. So it is going to make it harder. I do think that is not, look, one of the most important things that's going to be decided in the 2016 presidential election is whether the person who appoints the Supreme Court justices that come after 2016, the retirements that are very likely to come in the period, say from 2016 to 2024, who's going to appoint their successors? When George Bush beat Al Gore, that's when campaign finance reform, unfortunately, was declared unconstitutional, because that played out. And depending on who wins in 2016, if somebody wins in 2016 and gets reelected, who does not believe that money should wash out the public sector equality principle, we'll get back to it.
And just as people, people who studied that issue, which is, like Brennan Center for Justice, Bert Newborn, Josh Rosencrantz, they talked about years ago how if we didn't remedy this problem, we would get to the point where the only remedy would be the one that was least likely to succeed, which is public financing of campaigns on a national level. I mean, what you want is people to have, you don't want people to have ceilings on how much they spend. You want candidates to have a floor of how much they spend. If saturation for a statewide race and media saturation in a state like New York is 16 or 20 or $25 million, we'll just make sure that that person has $25 million, let the other person raise 50 if they want to, so long as you have a certain floor, And that's something that as these laws pass, that are killing restraints on contributions by corporations and so forth, the remedy, there's still a remedy, and that remedy is public financing of campaigns. You'll probably never see that.